Today now we will come back to algebra. We will start the chapter 8, lesson 1, which is talking about adding and subtracting polynomials. We will learn how can we classify, add, and subtract polynomials. Now, some cases, the expression, it comes as one number or one variable or a product of variable with a number. Sometimes you see the expression as 3 or x squared or y cubic or 3x to the power raised to the power 4. All of these expressions, we called it monomial. Monomial. Okay? If you've had 3, x squared, y cubic, or a product of a constant number with a variable like 3x raised to the power 4, all of these one are an examples of a monomials. It could be variable or product or real number or one variable like x squared y. This one also is a monomial. Monomial, yeah, that means I am talking about one number or one variable. Monomials. Now, if you have more than one monomial, we called it polynomial. So, a one number is a monomial. More than one monomial, like 3. We say that 3 is a monomial. X squared is a monomial. Y cubic is a monomial. 3x squared is also a monomial. It could be a variable or it could be a real number. If you add them or subtract them, you will have a polynomial. Polynomial. A polynomial, that means here it is a it's a more than one monomial. It can be added and subtracted. If you have all of these expressions and you added them or you subtracted them, you will have something we called it polynomial. This word poly, it means more than one. Now, the monomial Did you see the white screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
Yes.
So if you have now 3x squared, we called it monomial. Now, do you know Bill, English or chemistry when you say like cycle, monocycle or unicycle in English, we say that if you say unicycle or monocycle, what does it mean? That means it is a bicycle, it's a cycle or with one wheel. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes.
And if you say bicycle, this word bicycle, that means I have two wheels. Bicycle, that means I have two wheels. And if you have a one, but with the 3 wheels, we call it tricycle. Okay? If you have a one wheel, you say monocycle. With 2 wheels, we say bicycle. And with 3 wheels, we say tricycle. And also triangle. Triangle, it means I'm talking about 3 angles. Here also we have the same. If we have only one variable, I say it is monomial. If we have two variables that can be added, let's make it as an example, like this. 3x squared plus 8y squared. They are two monomials, is it right? 3x squared is a first monomial, and 8y squared is the second monomial, and both of them can be added. So, because we have two monomial, like bicycle, I will have binomial. So,
But
with one
teacher,
expression,
sorry, miss, for interrupting, but teacher, you cannot add x and y together.
it's not adding. It's just write how can Mike make more than one expression. Or I didn't tell you
Okay.
the final answer. It's an expression. Or as
Okay.
x squared plus 8y x cubic. Okay, keep it now as x cubic. If you have now 3x squared plus 8x cubic plus 4x, how many monomials now? We have three monomials. I will not say three monomial, I will say tri-monomial. Like tricycle, triangle. Words tri, it's mean three. 1, 2, 3. Bi, like bicycle. 2 cycles, 2 wheels. 1, 2. And mono, I'm talking about only 1, which is 3x squared. So, if I'm talking about one expression, I name it with monomial. If I'm talking about more than one, I will name it with polynomial. Polynomial, polynomial. Do you know the polystyrene in chemistry or science?
What is polystyrene?
It's a chemical material. Okay, خلاص, okay. That's mean poly of something, or like polygon. Do you know the polygon? In math.
Yes, teacher.
When we
Yes.
name it polygon,
Yes.
it means that it has poly sides, mean that it has more than one side. So this poly, it's mean more than one. If I'm talking about one expression, I will name it with monomial. If I'm talking about more than one expression, we called it polynomial. And this polynomial, it could be binomial if you add 2. It could be trinomial if you add 3. And if you add 4 or 5 or 6, we know it also with polynomial. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
So, teacher, the meaning of polynomial that have more than one side, that's it?
لا مش side, expressions.
Expression.
Yes. Polynomial, that means it has more than one side.
Okay.
Not side, sorry, more than one,
And one expression.
Yes. Now, did you see the slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Now, let's learn how can we find the degree of the monomial. هلا go back to the monomial. The monomial, we said it could be a number, it could be a variable, it could be a product of a number with a variable. To find a degree of a monomial, you have to see the exponent of each variable, and then you add them, and you tell me what is the degree of the monomial. Let's have an example. Let's have number 3. What is the degree of number 3? In the constant we say the degree of number 3. So the degree here, I will write in another color, sorry. The degree here is 0. If I'm talking about constant, I will say 0. If you have x, what is the degree here?
1.
1. If you have x squared, what's the degree? It's 2.
2.
X cubic, you will see 3.
3.
If you have now x squared, y cubic, he told me that you have to find the exponents, then add them. So you will tell me that the degree of the monomial here is 5. You will have the exponents of each variable. After that, take the summation of the exponents. This summation will be what will be the degree of the monomial. Let's have an example now. Now, let's do problem number 1. In problem number 1 here, let's find the degree of each monomial. Look at the first one. In the first one here, we have 5x. I told you that we have to take the summation of the exponents of the variables. What is the variable here we have in A?
X, which is 1, the degree.
So the degree it will be 1. Look at the second one here. What is the variable? We have
X and Y.
and y squared.
X and
What is the degree, or what is the exponents of 3 of x? The power of x?
3.
3. And the power of y?
2.
2. Because of that, the degree of the monomial is what? 5.
5.
Look at number 4. What is the degree of a constant? Of a real number?
0.
0.
Let's do now, got it, 1. What is the degree of each monomial? Look at A. We have 8xy. And in B, we have negative 7y to the power 4z. And in C, we have 11. Let's do A now. In A, how many variables we have?
2.
2 variables. What is the power of the first variable?
1.
The second one is also 1. Let's add
1.
So you will tell me now, here we have the degree is 2.
2.
Look at the second one now. Negative 7. What is the variables? We have y and z.
Y to the power of 4 and z to the power of 1.
So
5.
it's 5. Thank you. What about here?
0.
0.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, Farah.
What is the degree of negative number or negative constant?
It doesn't matter.
It's also 0.
Negative 4, you mean? Like this? The
Yes.
power of the degree of any real number is 0.
Okay.
Now, let's learn now how can we add, wait, give me 1 minute, please. How can we add or subtract monomials? Now, in this lesson, we will talk about monomial and polynomial. Today, we will talk about how can we add and subtract monomial, and tomorrow we will talk about how can we add and subtract polynomial. Let's start today now with how can we add and subtract monomials. Look at the first one. In the first one here, we have 3. Sorry. We have 3x squared plus 5x squared. By now, in chapter 7, we learned how can we multiply them. We said if you want to multiply them, what you will get? You will multiply first the coefficients. If you I will repeat my question here. If you want now to multiply, sorry. If you want now to multiply 3x squared times 5x squared. Yes, Yara. What can we do, Yara?
Yes,
If you want to multiply 3x squared times 5x squared.
First we multiply 3 times 5.
Thank you. We multiply 3 times 5, which is 15. Then
2 plus 2.
Thank you, which is x raised to the power 4. Thank you, Yara, so much. So if you multiply them, you have to multiply the exponents and you have to multiply the coefficients. In adding, no, we have to do another thing. What we have to do?
To add 3 plus 5 equal 8.
The first step now, we will add, the first step, we have to check that if the coefficient, if the variables are the same. X squared and x squared, are they the same?
Yes.
Yes. Since they are the same, I will pick one of them. Okay? Since they are the same, I will pick one of them. After that, I will go to the coefficients. The coefficients here is 3. And the coefficients here is 5. I will add 3 plus 5, which is 8. So the answer now is 8x squared.
Teacher?
Yes, Yara.
Why didn't we add the x to the power of 2?
No, we don't add it. I told you, just pick one of them. In adding monomials or subtracting monomial, pick one of them. As I will give you, if you have 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4, what did we do? Did we add 4 plus 4?
No.
No, we pick one of them. Is it right? And then we add the numerators. Here also the same. We pick one of them, we pick one of the variable, we put it down, and then we add the coefficients, which are 3 and 5. If you add now 3 and 5, and you will get 8. So if you add 3x squared plus 5x squared, you get 8x squared. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, miss.
B. Look at B. The first step, we have here 4x cubic y minus x cubic y. The first step now, we have to check if we have the same variables. X cubic y, x cubic y. Yes, we have the same. The second step, I will pick one of them, which is x cubic y. Then I will now add or subtract the coefficients. What is the coefficients here?
Sorry for disturbing. Just a minute. Teacher, I will leave the class because the computer will turn off automatically. So I will just put it on charger and rejoin, okay?
Okay, Yara. So here we have the coefficients of the first one is 4, and the coefficients of the second one is what?
1.
So I will subtract now 4. We have subtraction. So 4 minus 1
3.
is what?
3.
3.
The answer here is 3x cubic y.
Teacher,
Yes, Farah.
does the exponent must be the same in adding and subtracting?
Yes, it must be the same. Like the fraction. If you have the same fractions, you can add. If they don't have the same fraction, you cannot add. Here also the same. If you have the same variables, you can add. If you don't have, you cannot add. In multiplication, no. If you have different variables, you can multiply, but you cannot add.
Okay.
It's the same as the fractions. In the fractions, if both of the denominator are the same, I can add. And if both of the denominators are not the same, I cannot add, but I can multiply them.
Okay.
Okay. Let's have now these examples here. What is the summation of negative? Let's do the first one. Negative 6x raised to the power 4 plus 11x raised to the power 4. And the second one, it was 20x squared y to the power 4 minus 7x squared y raised to the power 4. Now look at the first one. The first one here, the first step, I have to check the variables. Did we have the same variables? Yes. Pick one of them. Then I will add the coefficients. Negative 6 plus 11.
5.
5. So the answer here is 5x raised to the power 4. Look at the second one now. Did we have the same variables now?
Yes.
Yes. Now we have the same variables. Then 2, what are the coefficients here?
5. It's going to be 2
2
and 7.
and
Negative 5.
7. 2 minus 7. 2 minus 7 is what?
Negative
5.
5.
Negative 5.
5.
So the answer here is negative 5x squared y raised to the power 4. Now, let's do number 16 here in your practice, in your book. 12p squared plus 8b squared. Where is Judy?
Teacher, can I answer?
Wait, I want Judy, are you here? Yes, Ranim. 12p squared plus 8b squared.
Okay, so the first we should multiply 12 times 8,
Why
which
multiply?
equal
Adding.
add. But teacher, here you are saying to multiply. Okay, خلاص, nothing. Okay, 12 plus 8, which equal 20.
20.
To p to the power p squared.
Thank you. P squared. Now, Sarah. Yes, Sarah.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Sarah. I want you to do number 20 now.
Yeah, okay. Number 20. It is equal, teacher, it is equal negative 8x.
Execute. Thank you. Here the coefficients
Okay.
1 and here the coefficients of 9. So 1 minus 9 is negative 8. And then you pick the variable x cubic.
Teacher,
Yes, Farah.
did you receive my homework yesterday for 4, 5, and 4, 6?
Yes.
Me too, teacher. Teacher,
Because
what
I
about
sent it
I
on the
sent it
teacher? You
message.
received mine?
Not now, not now. Ask me later. I want to continue the lesson.
Okay, miss.
So now let's now talk about, we all of us know, we talked before about the polynomial. As we say, the polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials. The following polynomial is the summation of the monomials 3x to the power 4, 5x squared, negative 7x, and 1. Here we say that 3x raised to the power 4 is a monomial, and 5x squared is a monomial, negative 7x is a monomial, and plus 1 is also a monomial, or 1. And we said that a polynomial, it is adding or subtracting the monomials. So if you're adding them or you're subtracting them, you will have a polynomial. So 3x raised to the power 4 plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 1 is a polynomial. Now, what is the degree of each monomial? Look at the first one. What is the degree of the first monomial?
4.
The 4. Thank you. The second one. It is 2. Here.
1.
1.
Here 0.
And the constant, it is 0. Thank you.
0.
It is 0. Now, this polynomial, as it's written here, since it's written in order from the highest degree to the lowest degree, look at here, we have 4, the highest one. Then we goes to 2, then 1, then 0. We wrote it from the highest degree to the lowest degree. If you write it from the highest to the lowest, we say this is the standard form of the polynomial. Okay? Hella, we say that more than one monomial, if you're adding or subtracting them, we called it polynomial. If you bring this polynomial and you order it from the highest to the lowest degree. After you order it from the highest to lowest, you wrote it in the standard form. Standard form, that's mean I'm ordering the polynomial from the highest to the lowest. And this wrote it, if you want to write it from the highest to lowest, you write it from the left to the right. And don't write the smallest one on the left. You have to order it from the left to the height, with from the high to the lowest. From the highest to the lowest, from left to right. And if I will ask you, what is the degree of each monomial? You tell me, teacher, the first one is 4, the second one is 2, the third one is 1, and the fourth one is 0. But if I'm asking you now, what is the degree of the polynomial? The degree of the polynomial, you will choose the highest one, which is 4. So if I'm asking you, what is the degree of the polynomial? You take the highest exponent. Which is the highest exponent here, or the highest degree? 4. Which is 4. So you will say now the degree of the polynomial is 4. So how can we write the standard form? The first step, I will write or I will order the monomials from highest to lowest. After that, I will look at the highest degree. The highest degree of the monomial it will be the degree of the polynomial. Now let's see this table here. So here now we have in the first column, we have an example of polynomial. And I told you that the polynomial, it could be monomial or it could be more than one monomial. Like this one, 6, it is a monomial. It's 5x plus 9. It's also a polynomial, but all of them are polynomial. I want now to find the degree of each one. Look at the first one now. Now, the first polynomial, which is 6, what is the degree of the number 6?
0.
0.
It is 0.
0.
Now, if we have a number, or if you have a polynomial that has a degree 0, we name it with a constant. As we know, if the polynomial has a degree 0, we name it with a constant. How many terms here? We have only
One term.
1.
Because we have only one terms, we name it with monomial. So in the first one here, we have a number 6, number 4, number -3, and so on. What is the degree of the number here? It is 0. Since it is 0, since the degree is 0, so it is constant. How many terms we have? We have only one term.
1.
And we said before at the beginning of the lesson that if we have only one term, we will name it with monomial.
Monomial.
Let's look now at the second one. In the second one here, we have 5x plus 9. So 5x plus 9. What is the degree of the polynomial here? I want to find. I told you to find the degree of the polynomial, you have to look at the highest one. What is the highest one?
5x. 5x. 1.
1. Since the degree is 1, we called it linear function. Or linear. Before function, we called it linear. Okay, if I want to name it, I will say it is a linear. How many terms we have?
2.
2
terms. And since we have 2 terms, as I told you, we have like
Binomial.
Binomial.
as
Binomial.
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 Look at the third one now. The third one here, we have 4x squared plus 7x plus 3. Look at the highest degree of the monomial. What is the highest degree? Here we have 0.
2.
Look at here.
2.
Wait.
2.
0. Here you have 1 and here you have 2. So what is the highest degree? It is 2.
It's 2.
And every time, if the highest degree is 2, so we name it with quadratic. Okay? If the highest degree is 2, we called it quadratic. How many terms? So now you have to know that we can name the function by two things, or we can name the expression by two things. The first one by its degree, and by the second one by its number of terms. By its degree, I will like say, if you have a degree 1, I will say it is linear. If the degree is 2, I will say it's a quadratic. And if the degree is a 3, I will say it's a cubic. So I can name the expression by two ways. The first way, by the number of the degree. If the number is 0, I will say it's constant. If the degree is 1, I will say it's linear. And if the degree is 2, I will say it's a quadratic. And if it's a 3, I will say it's a cubic. And also, I can name the expressions by the number of each term. By how many terms, sorry. The second one, we said we have 5x and 9. So how many terms we have? We have 2 terms. Name it binomial. And if you have 4x squared, 7x, and 3, so how many monomials now we have? How many expressions? We have 3. So because we have 3 terms, we name it with trinomial.
Trinomial.
And look at the last one. We said we have 1 cubic. Sorry, the highest degree is 3. So we said it is a cubic. How many terms now we have?
1. Of the two.
So what we name it? No, it is 1. So what we name it? Monomial also.
Monomial.
Look at the last one now. What is the highest degree?
4.
4.
Since it is 4, I will say it has 4th degree. So only the first 3 linear cubic, linear quadratic cubic. More than 3, we will say 4th degree, 5th degree, 6th degree, and so on.